Good afternoon, students. Uh, Myself, as you all know, Pawan Kumar. I'll be handling the subject called Design of RCC and Steel Structures. You have learnt the subject called RCC in your fifth semester, and also you have learnt the subject called Design of Steel Structures in your sixth semesters. With continuation of those with those subject, a combination of both RCC and steel, both subjects have been combined. Previously this subject was design of RCC, design and drawing of RCC, or advanced RCC was a separate subject. ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಸಿ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. Basically around they have combined all the three subject and made it into one big subject. So can you all see the screen? Anyone respond?
Yeah.
Okay. So the subject code is 17CV72. We shall see the syllabus. In this syllabus, we have only two modules. Don't get excited, oh, only two modules. But your module 1 contains the design of RCC structures. And then the module 2 consists of design of steel structures. In module 1, there are 4 different subunits. First one is footings, which mainly consists of rectangular type of combined footings. Second unit is retaining walls. In that you will get cantilever type retaining wall, counterfort type retaining wall. First module, third unit, water tanks design. Here two types will be there. One will be circular and another one will be rectangular. In both circular and rectangular, we have different conditions with the surface, base surface. One is on rigid base type and another one is flexible base type. And one more unit is included, that is unit 4 in the module 1, which are portal frames. Frame analysis ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನ್ 2 ನಲ್ಲಿ that kind of frames we have to design here. In module 2, which basically consists of steel structures, one basic member type is roof truss. Trusses you have studied in maybe in your what you say stan 1 fourth semester stan 1 ali you have learned to calculate the member forces, compressive forces, tensile forces, those are the types of forces in the roof truss. Here what you are going to do is, after the analysis we have to decide the sectional properties, that is we need to design the members. In steel structures what you had done was design of compressive members and the design of tensile members was there. In this subject you will be knowing the application of those two modules, compressive force ಮತ್ತೆ tensile design chapter ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎರಡು ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್. From those combination of both two modules you will be applying those two modules in this one unit. ಈ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಮೆಥಡ್ನ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ and doing the design for roof truss. The second unit in module 2 is plate girder, and the third one is gantry girder. These girders, plate girder or gantry girders, basically a girder is nothing but a beam. It is a beam, but the size of the beam is very large. Since the size of the beam is very large, we call that as girders. And one more important point why we call girder is it contains different components. A beam is a single component, one member ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So we call that as a beam. Whereas your girder will be having a combination of two or more uh, members. Two or more members na use ಮಾಡಿ beam ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. All those things we shall study. So in that girder type, we have two different types: plate girder type and gantry girder type. Plate girder type ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ we will be joining number of plates kind of material ಅಂದ್ರೆ members joined together to make a girder. ರೂಫ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ರೆಸಿವ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಟೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ನ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ರೂಫ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. In gantry girder, a section will be there. In the steel structures, you might have heard ISLB, ISMB kind of thing, ISCB. Those are I section, C section, angle sections and all. Here what we do is a combination of I section and C section, combination of a plate and an I section, combination of C section or double C section. Like those things we will be considering for the design of girder, which is basically a beam. And one more thing this girder contain is a crane. Upon this girder, a crane will be moving like a vehicle, like a vehicle. On this girder, the trolley will be running, which is very useful for carrying the material for high-rise buildings. ಹೈ-ರೈಸ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆವಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್, ಸೇ ಲೈಕ್ 1000 kg, 2000 kg, 5000 kg ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ನ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗರ್ಡರ್ ವಿತ್ ಎ ಟ್ರಾಲಿ. ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಕ್ರೇನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಯು ನೋ ದಿ ಕ್ರೇನ್ಸ್, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. And this is a very advanced subject, and if you practice well and if you practice the concepts well and practice the problems, this is much more easier than the other subjects. Only thing is it requires your effort and concentration. If done so, this subject is very easy according to me. Okay. So here today I'll not start the problems. Before starting the problems, I need you to acquire IS 456 and IS 800 and steel tables. These are the basic code books you require. I believe you already have it. Okay. For module 1, you require IS 456. For module 2, you will require IS 800 and steel tables. One more important code book is there. While designing the water tanks, we need IS 3370 part 4. There we will be taking only the loading cases and all. That's it. So for the first class, from the next session, you should be having handy with you, that is IS 456 2000. IS 456 2000 and on the textbook you should have it handy. And we shall discuss some important introductory part of each and every type of members available here. I will be explaining very few of them. Okay. Someone is waiting at the ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. Okay. Okay. See, in the first module, what we are going to be doing is we have to learn the combined footing. Uh, the, what is this combined footing? In RCC structures, that is in your fifth semester, you have learnt about the isolated footings. What do you mean by an isolated footing? Isolated footing means for a given column, you will be designing one foundation for that particular column and there are no other columns connected to that foundation. That foundation which is supporting only one column, we call that as isolated footing. And the design of that isolated footing and all you have learnt. Say suppose we have two columns very close to each other, very close to each other. If it is very close to each other, uh, we have to calculate the dimensions of the foundation for one and for column 1 and column 2. If you calculate the sizes of the foundation, the size of the foundation is going to get overlapped. ಆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಬೇಸು ಇದ್ರ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇದ್ರ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಒನ್ ಓವರ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್. ಬೀಮ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಟೂದು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಓವರ್ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್. ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್, ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಇದ್ದರೆ when the foundation, isolated foundation of those two columns are, if they are overlapping, in that condition we have to provide the combined footing. Combined footing ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಟೈಪು ಎರಡು ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದೇ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಎರಡು ಕಾಲಮು ಮೂರು ಕಾಲಮು ಮೇ ಬಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ ದರ್. Important thing to know, there is we call it as a raft footing. Raft footing or mat footing, raft ಅಥವಾ mat footing ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. In this type of foundations, only one slab kind of foundation will be laid. Roof slab ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫುಲ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಫುಲ್ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಥರ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್. In that all the columns will be included. That type of foundation is called as raft footing or mat foundation. Mat foundation ಅಥವಾ raft footing. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಯರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೂ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಗೆ ಬರೋದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಟೂ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್. So, and one more important thing I forgot to tell. See, your examination pattern will be containing only two modules. ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. In each module, two questions will be there. That means totally 4 questions will be there, in which you have to attend only one full questions from each module. That means you have to attend two full questions. What is the maximum marks of your examination, final examination, 100 or 80? Someone speak up. 100,
Sir.
so 100. So the module 1 and module 2 will be split into two categories. Module 1 will contain 50 marks, module 2 contain 50 marks. So two main questions. In that main questions, you may have sub questions. Say in question number one, you may get sub questions of footings, retaining wall, and water tank. In second sub question, you may get retaining wall, water tank, and portal frame. Whichever the question you have to attend. See, ಅಥವಾ ನಾಲ್ಕೂನು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. Since the size of the design problem is very large, they may give one or two in a sub question. Likewise in module 2 as well. So ಎರಡು full questions ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. In that you will be having sub questions. Roof truss ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 40 marks ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ 50 marks ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 40 marks ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫಾರ್ 50 marks. ಸೊ 2 full questions you have to attend for 100 marks. Module 1 ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್, Module 2 ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. So coming back to the combined footing, combined footing ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, when we have two columns nearby, when their isolated footings are overlapping, we have to go for combined footing. And one more condition when we have to go for combined footing is, we have to go for combined footing when the soil and the safe bearing capacity of the soil is not appropriate. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ, if the safe bearing capacity of the soil is very very less, then in that condition we need to go for combined footing. There will be some limit. A limit ಗಿಂತನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we have to go for combined footing. This is the second condition. First condition when two columns are close to each other, we have to provide combined footing. When the SBC of the soil is very low, then we have to provide a combined footing. There is one more concept. If the column is situated in the ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಎಡ್ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫುಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಂಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದಿ ಕಾಲಮ್. ಸೊ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ ವೇರ್ ಅಟ್ ದಿ ಎಡ್ಜ್. ಸೊ ಎಡ್ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ ಎಡ್ಜಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಡ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Here you need to provide the column. So here what will happen is, since this is pushing downwards, the tendency of the foundation will be lifting upward like this. ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ upward ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So your structure may fail. So in that condition, what you need to do is, you need to provide the combined footing. So ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಎಡ್ಜಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಲೈನ್ ಕಾಲಮ್. ಈ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಏನು ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡೋಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪುಷಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಎತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ದಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಡ್ ಫುಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ you have to design slab type rectangular footing. So see, in combined footing there are different types of combined footing. Okay, so in this different types of combined footing, you can observe in this diagram. The first diagram will show the sectional property, andre P1 P2 is the column load, and there is combined footing. Foundation ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. There you can see. Okay, ಈ L/2 R ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, now observe this second diagram. The plan of the foundation is rectangular in nature. This type of foundation is adopted when the forces in the columns, that is P1 and P2 ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ, the forces of the columns are equal to each other. Equal ಅಥವಾ very near. Say if P1 is 300 and P2 is also 300, then go for rectangular type. If P1 is 300 and P2 is 350, then also we can go for uh, what rectangular type. If P1 is 300 and P2 is 600, there is some limit to that. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು P2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So you need to provide the dimension of the foundation related to P2 or P1. P1 ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, P2 ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. P2 ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಥರ ಸೈಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, P1ಗೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅನ್ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. It will become uneconomical. So in that case, we will go for trapezoidal type of footing. See, in this third diagram, you will observe. Say, here in this condition, the load of P1 is higher and P2 is lesser. So the dimension for the foundation dimension for column P1 is higher because the load P1 is very high. Okay, so load P2 is very less, though. So the dimension of the foundation to be provided should be lesser. Okay na? So less ಇರಬೇಕು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay na? So here in this case what will happen is we cannot separate out, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ steel reinforcement has to be continuous in nature. The main reinforcement should be continuous in nature. Hence, we need to taper the section. Section ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, taper ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. Gradually it will reduce to the required dimension of column B ಅಥವಾ P2. P1ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿದೆ, width. Width of the foundation for P1 is at the left hand side. Width of the foundation required for P1 is on the right hand side. So you will be joining with a tapered line. Tapered line in join ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ you will be getting a trapezoidal type of combined footing. Trapezoidal type of combined footing. Another type is also there when the dimension or the load is very very high, then you can go for this different types of design. There is no standard design procedure for this last type, but you need to take care of the upward lifting forces and all. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. What will happen is they will provide an extra beam. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಹಾಕದ್ಮೇಲೆ they will provide extra slab extra beam connecting from column A and column B. So this is a basic types of combined footing types. This is the sectional property. Is all these things we will be studying in while we do the problem. That will be ideal. In the second unit, you will be having what? In the second unit, you will be having retaining walls. What is this retaining wall? Can anyone tell? You can unmute and answer. What are retaining walls? Why they are provided? Can you answer? Okay. Yes, Lavanya.
Reading of soil.
Okay, I'm not hearing you properly. Maybe because of the network issue. Okay, so I will explain this. See, basically, retaining walls are provided to resist the soil load on the structure, basically, usually. Uh, Say suppose we have a basement floor ಇದೆ. ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಬಿಲೋ ದಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ that we have to construct a basement wall, we need to excavate the soil, and then we have to construct the basement floor. ಒಂದು ರೂಮ್ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we have to do that. But after some time or during the construction itself, what will happen is you have excavated, but there is the soil wall ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸುತ್ತ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಗೆ ಸುತ್ತ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪುಷ್ ದಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯುವರ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಮೇಸನ್ರಿ ವಾಲ್, ಇಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಗೋಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, it is not having the capacity to resist that soil force. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸುತ್ತ ಇದ್ದ, it will not be having the proper what you say stability to resist the soil force. ಆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ನ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. In that conditions, in those condition, we have to provide retaining walls. Retaining walls are those which resist the soil force or soil pressure which is coming on to the structure. ಆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇನ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಮೇನ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್. So to protect the main building or to protect the foundation or to protect the basement floors, we have to provide the retaining walls so that the soil pressure from the outside is not getting affected. Okay, na? Here we have different types of retaining wall. First main type of retaining wall is cantilever type of retaining wall, and another one is counterfort type of retaining wall. ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಇದೆ, cantilever type and counterfort type. In the first line, these set of retaining walls are the type of cantilever type of retaining wall, where it is standing like this. When the soil pushes, it will undergo the cantilever action. Cantilever beam ಹೀಗಿದ್ರೆ, cantilever beam ಹೀಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, if I put a load on it, it will bend like this. It will undergo cantilever action. Likewise, your retaining wall is like this. When we apply the force, that is, if the soil or water pushes the structure, it will behave like a cantilever beam type behave ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So that is why we call this type of retaining wall as cantilever type retaining wall. The counterfort retaining wall is also a similar kind, but if I apply the load to the cantilever type, it will bend like this, or it will what will happen, it will bend like this. If I apply the force from here in this side, it will bend like this, ಈ ತರ bend ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So I will provide one extra wall like this, ಈ ತರ ಅಡ್ಡ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. So if you push from the outer side, this wall what we have provided, my right, this hand, it will resist the cantilever action. ಈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ we will provide a counterfort, an extra wall kind of thing. This will resist. This will have more resistance than cantilever type. Cantilever type when we have to provide the counterfort when the height of the retaining wall is beyond 3 meters. ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ಗಿಂತನೂ ಇನ್ನೂ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ we have to go for counterforts. Where these types of counterforts are used mainly in case of dams. ಡ್ಯಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಬಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸರ್ವೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕೆರೆ ಹತ್ರ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ, ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಹತ್ರ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ, ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಸಾ ದಿ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ ವಾಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, OTP NTP ಸೈಟ್, OTP ಸೈಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ a bund is there. For the bund there is we provide the counterfort. ಆಚೆ ಸೈಡ್ ಆ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಹತ್ರ ನೀರ್ನ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅದು. Likewise we can also provide those types of structure for your soil. So this is about the types of retaining walls. Second unit ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Next one is your water tank design. In water tank, as I have said earlier, you will be designing circular type of water tank, and another one is rectangular type retaining the water tank. Your water tank base will be different. See, your base of the water tank, if it is on the ground, then there will not be any external forces. Andre soil pressure ಏನು ಇರಲ್ಲ. Soil pressure ಏನು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, only force which is acting on the tank is the water inside. Water inside ಹೇಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಹೀಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ is the only type of load which is applied on the water tank which is on the surface of the ground surface ಮೇಲಿದ್ರೆ. If the base of the tank is below the soil, that means imagine your sump, ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so it is underground, ground ಇಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ, base of the water tank is under the ground. So in that condition, this is the tank, inside water is there, and it will create the pressure, and your water tank will try to expand. To resist that, soil will be there surrounding, so it will not expand. But when the water is not there, when the water is empty, your soil will push the water tank inward ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೀಗೆ push ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ water tank inward, force create ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So to avoid this critical condition, we have to design the water tank, underground water tank. This underground water tank ಆಯ್ತು, on the ground water tank ಆಯ್ತು. Above the ground water tank is also there. Overhead tanks you might have seen. Water supply ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಏರಿಯಾಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, those types of tanks are called overhead water tanks. Overhead water tanks ಅಂದ್ರೆ at some height you are providing the base of the water tank. So to do that, we have to create a structure, or we have to provide certain set of columns. So columns na set ಮಾಡಿ you have to support the water tank, above which your water tank is present. ಸೊ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. To resist, you have to design this column structure, design the water pressure. ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ವಿಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಸೊ ಬೈ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈನ್. So for your syllabus, you will be designing rectangular type and circular type. In this rectangular and circular type, there are again two types. Two types ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ rigid base and flexible base. Rigid base ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ when the water pressure is created from the inside the water tank, it is going to the walls are trying to expand. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಬೇಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ, ರಿಜಿಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಇಸ್, your walls of the water tank will try to crack. So crack ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Either you have to provide the good stability, expandೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ structure provide ಮಾಡಬೇಕು in that case. But in flexible type of base, flexible base type, what you do is you will allow the walls to move. This is a different kind you might not have heard. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, some up to some extent it is going to get bulged. ವಾಟರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಲ್ಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಟರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ದಪ್ಪ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆದಾಗ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Some different set of arrangement is also there. Those arrangement also we have to design. So water tank design is very easy and very short also compared to other problems. This is basic about water tanks. And then you will get portal frames. In part B you will get girders, roof truss. This is a typical numerical problem example of a plate girder. Plate girder ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬೀಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ we are giving the stability for that. I will explain that in detail while we are doing the problem. This is a typical gantry girder where you can see an I section and C section and it is combined together. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. So all these things we need to calculate and all. Steel tables ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು all these parameters we have to check and calculate. So this is what I had explained about the combined footing. We have three conditions when we have to provide the combined footing: when two columns are close to each other, when soil bearing capacity is very low, if the if there is any nearby building very near to the column, or column itself is in the border, then in those conditions we have to provide. So these are the steps we have to be following while doing the problem. We shall discuss all those things while doing the problems. Okay. So for this session, that's all for now. We will be continuing with the problems from the next session. Next session andre naale I will be starting the problems where you should be having IS 456 2000 handy. Okay, IS 456 2000 ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. Okay. This is just an introductory session. This where I had to explain the modules and types of structure what you are going to be designing and all. If you have any questions related to this session, you can ask. Anyone? Okay. So we shall conclude this today's session now. Okay. We shall meet in next class. Thank you very much.